So I had some scary noises with the car, and I came to the conclusion it was grounding my alternator, which in turn made it hard to turn, which in turn I heard the belt noise because it wasn't actually spinning the alternator. It was just slipping pretty much because the alternator was demanding too much. So the problem is first off, that is way too close to my header. Okay, the grounding for the fuel terminal. So what we have to do, and the problem, I mean, I should just fix the problem, but I don't have another solution for it, is the problem is when I went full throttle, it torqued the engine. And when it torqued the engine, it allowed the alternator to come up because I put tension on the alternator from the firewall, not actually from the engine. So the alternator would move independently from the engine. Shouldn't really make a big deal, but in that case it would. So what I have to do is I'm going to take the manifold out, even though it's such a pain. I'm going to cut that little bracket off there. I'm going to make some clearance from the from touching the little arm there by cutting it off and whatnot. And I also want to take it out and wrap it, so that's also going to help with insulating it a little bit. As you can see, I have no jacking on here right now to keep the heat away from all my other components. So in turn, it actually started melting my wire loom, and I can't imagine what it's doing to my copper clad aluminum here, which is getting replaced with some 8-gauge copper. So what we're doing now, the alternator actually sits too far back. I could have put some spacers in the tensioner, but instead I'm just going to cut the belt. So I'm going to cut like 1 or 2 ribs off the belt. It's a 4-rib belt, and that should fix the problem with it not actually connected there. As you can see, there's about 2 rib spacing right there, and that's with the belt rubbing against the my lower shield there. So we got to fix that. And then I guess I'm going to fix my exhaust leak while I'm at it, so might just do the whole 9 yards. But right now we're actually going to take off my bracket that I made for the alternator so I can pull it back and get the belt off. Okay, so here's where we're at. Okay, so this ain't your normal car. We don't have a cat. That was my hole for my O2 sensor before because it was really ghetto. So we don't have a cat, and I thought it was just an okay idea to just jam that pipe on there and then put a clamp on it. But the whole thing is not even straight. As you can see, there's a dip there, so we might end up putting some more clamps so we can bring it back up. And then we're going, I don't know, I might just redo this whole system now that I have a welder. So I might just redo this whole system down here, because that's god awful. I got to figure out something better for that, because I got to get this header off and it ain't want to budge. So I'm going to have to bang it with a mallet and see if it will come off. Alright guys, so we got this wrap now. We got the one arm cut off on this side, and there is where we're going to be attaching the heat shields. We're going to be running the factory heat shield minus the there's like an aluminum spacer that we're not going to be using that, but we're still going to be using the lower heat shield and the upper heat shield. And it's also wrapped. I know it's not the prettiest. It's really hard to wrap a manifold opposed to like headers or something like that. And we're after function over looks here, so that will do what it needs to do. I needed to do a header wrap because it was still getting too hot by my wires that I have running by my engine bay, because the alternator's right there, and we had to fix that. And then I got my downpipe. This was already welded, but I had to weld that on, so that's all welded on now. It's not the prettiest, but it will get the job done. And when we fire it up, I'm just going to have it come right out there, you know, just basically a downpipe and a header on it. So it's going to be pretty loud until I can figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of the exhaust. Because currently, it's all taken apart. I really don't want to put it back on because there's too many things wrong with it. This is falling apart there. I don't necessarily like how it goes up, around, through the axle of the back wheel. And just too many things that I want to do with it, so we're just going to run it with just the downpipe for now. And I did upgrade to stainless steel nuts here because I had issues with them rusting on, so we do have stainless steel nuts on there now, and we're just going to throw this thing in right now. So while my computer's restarting, let's go out and take a look. So the dump pipe is right there. That's where my exhaust is dumping. I know my O2 wire is on the ground. I don't know how loud this is going to be, so. And then we got the header wrap there. Hopefully, I'm going to test it without the heat shield right now. See how hot it gets. And then maybe I have to wrap down there a little bit more. But for now, and we don't have power steering. I didn't put that other belt on because it's such a pain. So we're just going to make sure my alternator's charging. This keeps bending on me. Make sure this isn't bad. Make sure my alternator's not bad. Make sure it's charging. Make sure we have a proper voltage. And we're just going to see if it starts too. So I think I got everything plugged back in. Throttle. Yeah, I think everything's good in here. Is my laptop still restarting? Nope, I restarted already. We're just trying to get up to the studio right now. We're a little low on the voltage, but we should be able to start it. Let's give it a go. It's going to be really loud. There we go. That is loud. Oh, my belts. We are charging, but my belt's not tight enough. Yeah, that sounds pretty dope. It's loud though. Everything's looking good. We're charging. Belt's not squeaking. We're warming up still. Let's get some windows down. It's hot in here. Stop digging at me. Doing good. Shakes the whole freaking thing. We were missing a bolt on the manifold. I couldn't get to it. The downpipe is missing one bolt, but I got 3 other ones upgraded to stainless steel. That's freaking loud. Warming up nice. Tune up was good. It was still good. Everything's looking good. Started up relatively quick. As you can see, I only lost 1 count. Battery voltage good. No belt squeak. I say we throw power steering on, drive this around.